Take Sam Shamoun, for example. Not only does he have bad theology, not only is he swinging from every branch of theology to the next, which wouldn't be bad if he was humble, but every single branch he ends up on, he assures you and vehemently asserts that it is the correct branch attached to the tree of life. But he did the same thing when he was Muslim. He did the same thing when he was Protestant. And now he's doing the same thing as some sort of hybrid Catholic. And he'll do the same thing again when he switches back to Protestantism. Meanwhile, he's only showing you the outtakes. I personally know Sam Shamoun's ex-wife, and while I'm not going to say anything about that relationship, I do want you guys to understand that Sam is using his theology and his platform and you to comfort himself about his divorce. He's a toddler standing in a public playground, screaming about the wound on his arm, and finding solace in his ability to convince you that someone else caused it. He's trying to talk about how Christianity is a marriage with God. And this is a man who's no longer married because he's divorced. Now it's true that God himself divorces the Israelites in Jeremiah 3. And we see in Romans 11 that he remarries the Gentiles to provoke his first wife unto jealousy. And he does proceed to call his ex-wife a prostitute and a whore. The difference is God never made any mistakes. And most assuredly, Sam Shamoun made mistakes in his marriage. Sam Shamoun has said on recording that the reason he switched to Catholicism is not because of their theology, but because when he was getting divorced, Catholics were the ones who were nicest to him. And then he concluded outside of scripture in some sort of esoteric mysticism that God is the one who orchestrated this. And of course, God doesn't make mistakes. So if God put Catholics in his life at that time, therefore Catholicism must be true. And that comforted Sam in his despair and misery. And then out of reciprocation, he began to make concessions for their false theology. His whole shtick is to comfort himself in his previous divorce. And you're the sucker that's validating him. Now, the reason I'm stepping up and saying anything is because in order to comfort himself, he is leading many astray. And so you're a drug addict listening to a bunch of maniacs feed you opium so they can feel good about themselves. God forbid, myself included. Now, I will very soon systematically dismantle his entire life and theology. And I hate to destroy a man, but a wolf in sheep's clothing attacking the flock deserves a rock in the face. 9 out of 10 shepherds agree. And so again, as I have done publicly many times with no response, Sam Shamoun, I challenge you to a formal debate. I propose that we both fly into Nashville, Tennessee, and have a public debate where both of us